big update that if I were to forget, I'd feel terrible about. We had a big update maybe about a month ago, and we didn't send any emails about it. And that was a little frustrating for me, but I've been with Transamerica and WFG for 6 years now. And so for the last 6 years, we've been focused on how do you help more families. And that's always been the way that we measure the success of our business is families helped, and I like that style of measurement. But the one family, I guess, that we've been leaving behind are the families we can't help has been I-10 clients. Have you guys seen any clients that have I-10s?
What is it? What is it?
So tax identification numbers, but maybe no visa here in the U.S. And we've wanted to help those families for a long time, and we just haven't been able to. And so the only carrier that's been able to help them is Nationwide. And they can help them on the permanent side, but we've really, really wanted to be able to do that. And so effective immediately, we can now take clients that only have I-10s.
Woohoo!
And so if they're here in the U.S., they have to be able to show us 2 years of tax returns. They need to have been in the U.S. for at least 5 years. And if those clients that maybe have those I-10s but they don't have a valid visa, if they want to apply with us, we can now offer them coverage up to $500,000. And the big deal that separates us is that we can do it on IUL or on the term side as well.
Very good.
And I think the real difference maker is that you can do it on the term side as well. Because those might be a family, and I don't know if anyone's ever delivered a death claim, but you never really know which family that you're helping is going to be the first claim that you deliver. And I think if we could write a family up with a $100,000 term policy, even if it comes out to $30 a month, if that's the solution that they need, then we should be the ones to help them with that.
Awesome. Very good.
So on these clients, we can even do preferred rates, which is something other companies can't do. We cannot do living benefit riders, and we cannot do long-term care riders. So it's going to be life only, so Trendsetter Super, FFIUL, between $100,000 and $500,000, even up to preferred rates. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can submit these applications immediately using iGo.
So it has to be minimum 100?
Minimum 100,
Okay.
yes. Yes, sir.
So if they have family, they're here, but they have family, let's say, in Mexico or in a different country
Yep.
that aren't citizens, never come to the U.S., but they want to put them as beneficiaries, there's no challenge as long as they're fully related or whatever.
No challenges, give us the best way to identify them. Now keep in mind that if you are a Mexican national living in Mexico, when we pay out a death benefit to a U.S. citizen, we know it's going to be income tax free here in the U.S. You have to kind of check with that country as far as what their rules and regulations would be around receiving this life insurance benefit from a life insurance company in the U.S. So it may be subject to some sort of tax penalty.
On their side.
Yep, that's the only thing I would make them aware of.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any nationality, there's no boundary with that?
There is actually, we kind of underwrite it according to our typical foreign national country code. So for example, Venezuela, I believe, is a country that we just can't underwrite right now. And so there are certain countries like Guatemala, is a C country, which means they can't get a preferred rate, they can get at best standard with $1.50 flat extra. So we do kind of base it on their country of origin. But check that country code guide, we make it very available, and I'll show you where to get it.
Thank you.
No problem. Good question. Yes, sir.
How are you handling anti-money laundering for people bringing money in from China?
So that would probably fall more under our high net worth foreign national guidelines. And so when someone is here permanently, they would say that my home is in the United States. I'm here in the United States. I don't plan on going anywhere else. I have a permanent residence in the United States. That's what I'm talking about with this program. For our high net worth foreign nationals, those might be high net worth investors from China or from a different country that are coming to the U.S., that have business ties in the U.S. but still maintain a permanent residence in a foreign country. We have kind of different standards and regulations for those. We have a minimum face amount of $1 million. A lot of times we'll ask for third-party financial justification and things of that nature. So that is not this program. This program is for someone that is here in the U.S. They would say, I want to permanently be in the U.S., but maybe I don't have a permanent visa yet. Any questions on that? Yes, sir.
So even with no visa, as long as they have an I-10,
That's
and
it.
2 years tax returns and 5 years residence,
That's it.
makes sense?
That's what we need. Any questions on that, feel free to give us a call. Like I said, we're really excited that we have the program. Our legal team didn't want us sending out any mass emails. And so we're live, we're active with it now. We can take them on iGo. So go ahead and start sending those our way. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. So then today, let's really focus on the FFIUL. I know that we have a lot of people here that are very experienced in this business. And so I've got a massive PowerPoint here, and I don't want to go through every slide. I'm going to kind of fly through it and stop on what I think are the most important parts that you need to know. This PowerPoint is approved for agent use only. So if anyone wants a copy of this, I'd be happy to send it to you. Just know that it's for agent training and not necessarily for client presentations. Sound fair?
Yes.
So when it comes to the products that we're coming out with now, I do kind of like to show the timeline because when it comes to who Transamerica is, we've been in this business since 1906, right? For over 110 years. And I think it's really important to point out to clients that the life insurance industry has changed and evolved with time. Right? If you ask someone what they know about life insurance or how it works for them, a lot of people describe what I would consider to be death insurance. The benefit of me purchasing a life insurance policy is because when I pass away, you guys write a check to my family. And if that's the only benefit of life insurance, then you just bought a policy that we probably introduced in 1906. Because policies today are so much more than just the death benefit. Yes, they are still protection first and foremost, but it's also protection from health type injuries, right? Long-term care, critical or chronic illness, and it's also a way to generate money that you can access in retirement on an income tax-free basis. And so when I talk to people about this solution, I want them to know this is the 2019 version of life insurance. This is what life insurance should be today. So what I focus on, and we always talk about it, is how you can help more families. And if you focus on helping families, then you kind of get led to this solution naturally. There's 3 different ways you can help the family in our business, I believe, and it doesn't have to all be one product that answers these, but if you can answer all 3 of these questions, then that's a family that was properly helped. I think if you're fully licensed, life, health, securities, that makes it a lot easier. But the 3 questions to answer, number 1, what happens if I pass away too soon? And it's such an easy question to answer, but people still avoid answering that question. And so we want to help people know there is an affordable answer, and you're going to like the way that this one looks. But the first thing that this policy is life insurance. And I'm glad that it is because 100 million Americans are underinsured. Now the second question to answer, and this is one that I think this office is so well fit in order to answer because we have so many people that are fully licensed, but you have to answer the question of what happens if I live too long. Right? People over the age of 40 have a greater fear of outliving their money than they do of passing away too soon. 62% of consumers say my top financial concern is preparing for retirement, and you should be concerned because retirement is longer than ever. Right? That magic age of retirement is stuck at 65, but people spend an average of 8,000 days in retirement now. And so I want to help someone feel confident and secure that they know what happens if they live too long. The third question that I want to be able to answer is what happens if I get sick and can't go to work? What happens if I have a heart attack, cancer, stroke? What happens if I have a long-term care event and I know that the number 1 cause of bankruptcy is medical expenses? I want to be able to help people protect themselves in case they have a severe heart attack. It shouldn't be financially ruining for them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You guys are all very involved with Transamerica. You've seen from Transamerica that we've moved to this brand that is built around wealth and health. Have you seen a lot of that messaging?
Yes.
And so I went to a conference and we were talking about that, and I was saying, I'm just not sure I can wrap my head around it. Does that mean that I'm supposed to give someone like diet and exercise advice, right? Should I be saying, hey, you should eat more salads, and if you join a gym, I don't think that's why someone talks to their financial advisor. I don't think you go to a Steve and say, hey Steve, can you give me some good smoothie recipes because I'm trying to lose a few. But people, 81% of clients say, I want a financial advisor that talks about wealth and health. 81%. So clients recognize that they want this, And we dug really deep into those numbers. 81% say they want a financial advisor that talks about wealth and health. Well, why? What should we talk about? It's not smoothie recipes. These people are concerned about healthcare costs, because that's the intersection of health and wealth. I retire at age 65, and I need to prepare for this long retirement, and one of the most important aspects to prepare for are what the healthcare costs will be in retirement. The average couple who turns age 65 today will spend about $365,000 on healthcare costs throughout retirement. So if you're helping a client prepare their financial future, prepare for what's next, prepare for what their retirement looks like, you have to talk to them about how they're going to overcome these healthcare costs. Because it's a key part. You can't have health without having wealth, and you can't have wealth without focusing on your health as well. And so our long-term care rider and these living benefit riders that I'm going to talk about, I think are the right solution that people need to know about today. When it comes to the FFIUL, why I like that and I want to focus on this one is that the FFIUL is the only solution that I know of that kind of helps me address to a certain degree all of these questions. It's not your end-all be-all, but it's something that can help supplement and answer every single question. So with this FFIUL, the product we first pointing out that almost every company in our industry now is introducing an